today's video, should you train abs when you're bulking? You know, when you're done cutting, you've done your reverse diet, and you go on a bulk. You know, you want to put on muscle mass, and now your question is, should you train abs? Because you know, when you're cutting, you're training abs because you want to make them more defined. You want to get those cuts, you want to get those obliques out, you know, you want to get your abs more defined. But now you're bulking, you know, you want to put on muscle. Is it worthwhile to train abs? So here's my answer. Absolutely yes. You gotta train abs whether you're bulking or cutting. You know, I think training abs is even more important when you're bulking. And hear me out why. Because look, when you're cutting, you're usually doing higher reps, you know, more body weight style ab training to get those cuts and definition in the abs. But guys, when you're bulking, you have to switch your ab training style. Now, what I mean by that, if you're doing higher rep, more calisthenics work when you're cutting, then you should do more heavy weighted ab training, lower reps in the gym, weighted ab training when you're bulking. Now why? Well, because when you're cutting, there's no point in using weights because you're not gonna put on size, you know, because you're losing weight. So you just gotta get the definition in there. So that's why you're doing higher reps. But now that you're putting on muscle mass, you should still want to put on some muscle mass on your abs. Why? Because your abs are going to be thicker, they're going to be more lean and shredded, and when you get fat, you know, at a higher body fat percentage, you're still going to have visible abs because they're portraying out more. You know, so when they get thicker, the actual muscle gets bigger. So your abs get stronger and bigger, just like your bicep or a tricep. It doesn't matter. You know, you should train them the same way as any other muscle you want to put on size. So you should use lower reps, more sets, and weighted ab training. So you could basically do the same kinds of exercises as to when you're cutting, but just add some weights. So it's going to be harder and you're going to be performing less reps. You know, train the same way as you would training your biceps when you're bulking. It's the same, you know, it's a muscle group just like any other. And I think it's very important to put on muscle in the ab region, because a lot of guys, they have just flat abs. You know, when they're really lean, yeah, the abs are visible, but they're flat. You know, they don't have the deep separation in there. And because the ab muscles aren't that big, and that's why you have to make your ab muscles bigger and thicker. I already did a video a very long while back about how to get big abs, how to make your abs thicker, bigger, but that's the way you should do it. When you're cutting, you should use higher rep, more calisthenics focused work, so you get those cuts and definition in the abs. And when you're bulking and when you're in a calorie surplus, you should train more weighted ab training. You know, the same 2-3 times a week, hit every ab region, you know, upper abs, lower abs, obliques, the core, but train them with lower reps and with weights. That way, you're gonna, you know, engage those muscle fibers, you're gonna break them down, and they're gonna regrow and grow bigger. So your abs are gonna get stronger, thicker, and bigger, you know? And I think that's the key to having a bodybuilder type physique. Not just a physique model, you know, the guys who have flat abs, yeah, they're lean, but they have flat abs. Now, if you look at a bodybuilder, he has big, thick abs, you know, and that's a different look, you know. So if you want that bodybuilder type style look, you gotta train abs when you're bulking with weights. So lower reps and heavy weight training. And if you don't want that, you should still train abs to keep them in shape and to keep them strong and conditioned. So either way, if you're chasing for thick bodybuilder type abs or not, you should still train abs whatever you're bulking or cutting. You know, if you don't want those thick abs, just stick to regular calisthenics work through the whole, you know, cutting phase and bulking phase. And if you want those bodybuilder type thick abs, then you gotta train your abs with weights. You know, do crunches with weights, do Russian twists with weights, do leg raises, do dragon flags, you know, V-ups, knee raises, hip raises, you know. But if those exercises are too easy and you can do more than 6-7 reps, you should add weights or do more difficult variations of those exercises, you know. So lower reps, higher weight, and that's gonna make your abs thicker and bigger. That's gonna make the muscle grow. And then when you're back cutting, you switch back to calisthenics work, so you get the definition in those thicker abs. So the next time you cut down, you're gonna look a lot better because your abs are gonna portray out a lot more, and they're gonna look a lot more shredded because they're bigger. Because when the muscle gets bigger, when the muscle actually grows, it looks a lot better than a leaner, small muscle, you know. So to conclude this video, guys, like I said, you should always train abs. Just, you know, if you're not chasing the size, just to keep them strong and conditioned, you know, because if you have a strong core and strong abs, it's gonna help your posture, you know, it's gonna help you move better, you're gonna feel a lot better, you're gonna have less lower back pain, less aches in your joints, you know. It just has a lot of benefits to have a strong core and strong ab muscle. So you should always train abs no matter what goal you're chasing, you know. So if you're not chasing for those big bodybuilder type abs, just do calisthenics work if you like to, you know, through the whole cutting and bulking phase. Now, if you're chasing for those abs, during the cutting phase, I would recommend doing calisthenics to get the definition. And when you're bulking, to get that thickness in the abs, we're using hard variations of the exercises or adding weight to do less reps and make it harder. That was it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and definitely subscribe. Peace out.